Uh-oh. Our chart's about to fail because right now, that's the pattern we're seeing. It's called a fail breakout. I love these patterns, fail breakout, fail breakdown. What it basically means is that we went higher and then failed to hold it. So we broke out, went above the area or broke out to new all-time highs, and then we fell back below. That's called a failed breakout. Why does it matter? Well, because it happened right here, happened right here, happened right here. A bearish engulfing candle can start as a failed breakout. So higher high, lower low, close below the low, fail break. Another fail break right there. Where else are the failed breaks? Got one right there. That's not one. Nope. We got one right there. That's a bearish engulfing. Seems to be a pretty predictable topping pattern. That's correct. Tops are hard to call. I'm not calling a top. I'm making a video I think people are going to click on. That's why it says fail and it's red. Why? Well, because we closed down a few cents today, so that's definitely the top. We closed down by 16 cents today. At Tree 50, they came in and bought it up again. Why? Because I think the market's going to go higher. There's a difference between whether we should be going higher and whether we are going higher. The stupid Grammarly thing is really frustrating lately too because it messes up my computers. Anyways, here's what matters. If higher lows are sufficient, let's think about this. Did we just set the weekly higher low? What does that mean? Well, if we form daily higher lows from here, which means we just continue to go higher and higher and higher, that means the weekly higher low is set. If the weekly higher low is set, we should not look back to 635. That's pretty easy, huh? Yeah. I want you to understand everything you need to know within the first roughly 2 minutes. So here's the levels. We started here. We went all the way up to a weekly higher high, and now we're back below center field, which means we're a little bit red on the week. That's pretty simple, huh? We're playing football, and right now the red team has the ball, but there's no points on the board. Why? We didn't make it all the way to R3 or S3. That's support 3 or resistance 3. We did print a higher high, and now it's a failed breakout. So even if we were to close here on Friday, I would still leave this as 4 out of 4 because a higher low is all we need. So what I'm really telling you is that I'm not sure whether the weekly higher low is set. If it's not, it means we will break. We will go back to 2 out of 4. If we look back on the month, yeah, we've been flip-flopping. 4 bull, back to a little bit bear, cautiously bearish, back to cautiously bullish, back to bullish, back to cautiously bullish, back to bullish. Hey, this has been pretty easy. Yes, it has. So the dots are very simple for me. It just means that it's easy right now. We can afford to walk away from the screen. We can afford to enjoy ourselves. We can afford to enjoy the summer if it is nice where you are. If it's where I am, cloudy and miserable, it's not so nice. As we talked about, there is going to be more data coming out this week than most weeks. If we look to what happens on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you can see that there are some warning signs here. So potentially a really big move. Why? Those are big companies. Microsoft and Meta. Yeah, those are some big dogs. Looking here to Wednesday, we got the Fed rate decision. That's a big dog too. Then we got Amazon. And I think we got, Apple and Amazon. There it is right there. Apple, Amazon earnings. Then we got core PCE. Whoa. I'm not sure how the data is going to shake out on all these things, but as of right now, like the market is liking good news and it's not really selling off on bad news. So what could we do? It's pretty simple. Let's just go back to our notes. There's now a deal and there's an extended date. And the date that is supposed to be finished is August 1st. I happen to think around August, there's going to be a really big event for a global supply chain update for the whole planet. What does that mean? Man, just read into it if you don't know. I would encourage you to do it. Algo S&P 500, Algo says buy. So Green Man says buy the dip, and we're buying the dip. Right now, I just told you. If we're going to go back down and test a weekly higher low, lower than we are right now, we will break the daily chart. That's simple. If we don't, man, the green team's in full control, and I'm not going to argue because we're going into the end of the month. And let's think about this for 2 seconds. All right, you put a red video today, bud. If we close at or near the high of the candle for the monthly, what does that imply? Continuation. Why? That's how charts work. So failed breakdown could be a bottoming pattern. It can also be a topping pattern. So failed break at the top, failed break at the bottom, which is exactly what the graphic showed us at the beginning of the video. And by closing at or near the high of the candle, we usually get upside momentum or continuation. Why? There's pressure. It needs to get released. Like sometimes you get some pressure in some body parts and you got to release it by what? Going to the gym, doing something else. You understand. There you go. At or near the high. It's got some pressure to release. All right, looking to the radar. There's some nice ideas. We'll go through those on the stream tomorrow. And I apologize for not showing up today. Honestly, the watch, the battery in my watch was dead, and it didn't warn me, and then my alarm didn't go off. I enjoyed the extra sleep, so I'm not gonna apologize too much. But thank you for your patience this morning. I do appreciate that. I'll be back to normal tomorrow. Here's what you can do. So I said, I've been telling you to manage the risk. If not, you should know what I am. A mega big up crew. We're going to go up. We're into extreme greed. This is the same warning I sent roughly 2 years ago now, year and a half ago. What do? We manage risk. We don't try to call the top. We wait until the candle closes. It's only Monday. So it will only be a fail. It will have failed on Friday, ED. Right now it's ING or failing. What do? Set a stop, raise a stop, or trim. That's how you can afford to sleep in. I wasn't worried. I woke up like an hour and a half or 2 hours after the market was open. Guess what I thought? Nothing. Why? My stocks work for me. And I love that arrangement. All right. I don't have anything else to go through. So I encourage you to hang out with me tomorrow. And if not, I wish you a terrific Monday. Thanks so much.